Hey, I hope everybody enjoyed their 4th of July weekend. I know we did.
Yes, we did, and I had a nice little vacation, and that was fantastic. So I'm back, and it feels like we've only not done it 1 week, and it feels like it's been forever since we've been live, which is so strange. That's what happens when you get in a habit and a routine, right?
In a routine, yeah. When we're consistent, the 1 week that we're not consistent, it like throws everything off, and I feel like we've been gone a long time.
Yes, me too.
So
So happy to be back.
happy to be back. So today, Cari, you and I, we really noticed, and I'm sure many of real estate agents have noticed that this is a transitional market. And when there's any change or transition in our lives, some of us, we don't know what to do. We can become panicked, or we start, with our mindset being like a scarcity mindset. Our verbiage can change, our language can change. We just come from, instead of coming from a place of abundance, we come from a place of fear because we're not really sure what to do. So today we thought it would be very empowering to talk about the main things that you can do as an agent in a transitional market, because there's still market share to be taken, and there are still ways that you can be extremely successful in this market. And so Cari is going to break down some of those things for us today.
Yeah, I think it's a great conversation, Haley. So thanks for bringing that up. I think that the next few weeks we'll kind of give some tips and tricks, and hopefully it'll just keep you focused and motivated and looking in that place of abundance instead of scarcity. That is just a natural thing that our mind does to us, is bring us into that fear-based kind of scarcity mindset to keep us safe, to hunker down and to figure out what it is we're going to do. But in any time of certainty, it seems that if we don't control our mind and we aren't purposeful about it, that's where it's going to take us. And so if we continue to fill our mind with things we can do, then we feel empowered and we can come from a place purposefully of abundance. So just an interesting statistic, because first and foremost, people think that, the sky is falling because we read all of the headlines. Mm-hmm. Remember, headlines sell. So if you're going to read a headline, make sure you read the whole article. Even as realtors, I know that we can become guilty of that because we're busy. So we read one thing and then we make our own assumptions. And if we would have read the whole article, there would have been a lot more probably positive news in it, but the headline isn't going to be positive because that's not what gets people's attention, right? So just remember that, and also caution your clients of that, because words matter. And the language we're reading, we're taking in, we're allowing to go into our mind, and we're speaking either to others or even just internally to ourselves, makes a big, big difference, and could be, in my opinion, probably the number one reason that you're either going to take more market share as the market shifts, or you're going to find yourself in a place where you're not doing any business. And literally it could be that dramatic, because it starts all up in here, right? So, so let's start with what is the reality. So sales in 2021 were about 6.12 million. In 2022, it's estimated that it would be 5.4 million. So let's just be real here for a minute. 5.4 million sales are still going to happen in 2022. You don't need 5 million of those. You don't need 1 million of those. In fact, most of you don't need 100 of those in order to be able to make a great living. So there are still sales being had, and there will continue to be, but you need to be purposeful about what those are. So if we're talking about watching your language because words matter, here are the things that I'm commonly hearing people say, Haley, things like high interest rates are just killing this market. None of my clients can afford to move. First-time home buyers are a waste of time. They'll never be able to afford it. Sellers are just greedy. They're not pricing appropriately. I don't want to list homes and just have them sit there and not sell. These are the kinds of things that I hear people saying. When we say those things, guess what? We attract first-time home buyers that are unwilling or unable to buy at this time. We attract sellers that are greedy and are not going to listen to us. And we are also feeding the minds of the people around us, our social media following, our friends, our family, our sphere of influence. And that's our database, is the lifeblood of our business. So if we believe that and we're saying it, guess what? We are putting it out there to the people who could take advantage of this market and actually provide us with business. So there's two negative things happening there. So let's change the verbiage a little bit. Instead of saying those things, I think everybody should wake up and say, the market may be getting a little bit tighter, but there are always people that need and want to make a move. And my job is to go out there and find those people. Right. So where would those people be? Who would those people be? And we need to be strategic thinkers, and we need to get out there and look for those things. Also, slowing market, that's great news, right? How many of your buyers were unable to buy the last 12, 16, 18 months, and you were frustrated and talking negatively about the fact that you wrote 20 offers and they couldn't buy a house. Today, with interest rates dropping just a little bit and with home prices dropping, those buyers don't have as much competition they probably could buy today if you'd actually pick up the phone, call them, and tell them about the opportunity that exists in front of them. And the last thing is, investor clients are going to come out of the woodwork. They already are. If you haven't worked with investor clients yet, you need to start putting that out there and asking people, who do you know that wants to invest in real estate? Have you ever thought about investing in real estate? Do you have investment properties? Will you be looking for more of them in this upcoming market? And if you're a real estate agent and you haven't thought about investing in real estate, you should. Once you do it and you go through that process, you now become a resource to every single person in your database, every past client, every friend, every family member. And remember, people don't have to make a lot of money, have a lot of money, or be in real estate to become a real estate investor. In fact, all they have to have is some equity in their home. And guess what? Right now, even with prices adjusting, everybody has equity in their home. So you need to start looking at opportunities, educating yourself, filling your mind with where the opportunities are. And remember, what you focus on expands. So if you're speaking it out, it will come to you and you will find these opportunities, not only for yourself, but for your clients. But if you don't believe there's opportunity, I can promise you, there's not going to be any for you. Right? I mean, that's the reality in anything.
Right. I love when you get into your genius zone because you just become like, just so magnifying. Your vibration is just absolutely spectacular. Plus, you
so
have
who's going to go out there and sell a house?
Right. No, I love that. And I love that you said too, it's just really important that you continue to pick up the phone and check in with your clients, because the number one client acquisition strategy that you can own is your own database and your sphere of influence. So if you are not reaching out to your sphere of influence on a quarterly basis to make a phone call and check in and ask if you can continue to be a professional resource for them, you are losing out on your business. Okay. Even during these markets, it's so important to make your quarterly phone calls, to have a structured, concise CRM that's reminding you to make these phone calls. Because like I said, client acquisition strategy, owning that strategy is so incredibly powerful. Please, if there's any advice that I would give any agent, it is to make your sphere of influence phone calls and have everybody set up on a follow-up plan.
Yes. And, take 3 things that are going on in the market, 3 opportunities, write them down. And when you call, share them, because you are the trusted resource. You need to educate. So get educated and then get out there and educate. Remember, we're not afraid to call people if we have something valuable to say to them, if we have something valuable to bring to them. The reason that you're not picking up the phone is because you don't know what to say and you think you're just bugging them. If you think you're bugging people, it's because you're not bringing them value. So start with, what value can I bring? What information can I gather? Write it down so you feel empowered and excited to share something with somebody else. And trust me, you're going to be very motivated to go out there and talk to them. Beyond the CRM, the last 2 strategies I would employ would be, go educate yourself on investing in real estate. And maybe actually get a lender that is very versed in this, or somebody else who's versed in this, to do a seminar via Zoom or in person with you in your local market, to invite all of your sphere of influence, all your past clients, about investing in real estate and taking advantage of the market. Do you know that the top millionaires in this company became wealthy during a recession? It's because they saw opportunity. There's opportunity in the real estate market coming forth. So that would be one strategy. The second strategy would be doing some buyer seminars now again, and saying, hey, have you not been able to purchase a home in the last 18 months? There might be an opportunity for you, and get a lender to talk about some of these great things. We just learned from a lender yesterday, some rules are changing with medical collections, with student loan collections, or student loan debt, where they're actually not going to be using those in the pre-approval process. Do you know that as a realtor? And if you don't, these are the things that you need to do. So hopefully this will inspire you guys to get out there and educate yourselves, empower you to do something, and then go share it with other people. I promise you, if you do that, you will get people reaching out to you and needing your help.
100%. Thank you so much, Cari. This was so helpful. And I hope that it, resonated with many of you listening.
And we'll see you next Tuesday with some more tips.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Haley.